Hello, hello. Welcome to another ramble. This time featuring my co-host Alpaca Laka again. Say hello.
Hello, hello.
Yep. So this one's gonna be kind of similar to the last ramble we did, except this one's not gonna be RuneScape related. Planning to make some more rambles that aren't strictly RuneScape related, and this is one of them. This one's gonna be mainly about PS2 gaming, so more nostalgia, looking back at stuff. So if anyone else share that experience, then maybe get a kick out of this. All right, so where do we want to start off? I guess just what the first game we
Like,
got is.
yeah, like how old were you when you got your PS2?
Yeah, so it was the first console I got. I think I may have like played on a handheld before, like maybe the Game Boy Advance or something, but PS2 was the first actual console I got, and I think I was pretty young. I was probably like 6 or 7 when I
Yeah.
got it, and I got two games. I forgot what one of them was, but one of them was Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. And I think, man, I'm really struggling to remember what the other game was, but I don't think I played it too much, at least not at first. But I mostly played the Ratchet and Clank one. What about you?
Yeah, it was my seventh birthday. I got a PS2 Slim,
Oh yeah, me too.
and
Yeah.
and I remember it was Lego Star Wars, the first Lego Star Wars. I got that. I remember playing that, and amazingly, we our TV was like so shit
Hmm.
that it didn't have the input for like the PS2 input. I don't know what that'd be, AV or whatever, but yeah, for some reason
Oh,
here,
like
so
the
we had.
yellow, red, and
Oh yeah, those things. That it would be that.
that's what I always use. There's like an even older one's like composite on there, with it's like a yellow one and a black cable. Black cables for sound.
Man.
I never use that one though.
But yeah, so I got that. We had to get like this really small shit TV that looked like the original Mac monitors. Like
The super fat ones.
yeah, it was a TV that looked like that. Like
That's literally the TV I use, or it was like just a giant TV, with huge back, and
yeah,
but it was what we had. We had like a bigger version of that in the living room, and then eventually I got like an old one in my room,
yeah.
the smaller one.
I had like a really mini one on like this little wooden table in my room, and yeah, we had a big one downstairs, but that didn't work with PS2.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
what was it? Yeah, so I got PS2 Slim, because it was around that time. I don't think they were really like if you bought the old one, you were buying it like secondhand. So most people like my parents just I kind of asked for one, and obviously I didn't know. Shit, it was the first console, so I was like,
Yeah.
can I get something? And surprisingly good choice with the games. At least the Ratchet and Clank one. You expect them to just pick something out of the bargain bin and just like here's some like knockoff game that like like the licensed movie
Oh man,
games.
yeah, yeah. To be fair, that was one of my main games I played on PS2 is the Incredibles licensed movie game. It
Mm-hmm.
was actually really good. I think it was called like Rise of the Underminer. To be fair, I played that when I was like 8. So maybe it's not actually very good. But when I played it back then, I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, on licensed movie games, there's actually a couple of good ones that I remember. Like obviously everybody remembers Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Yeah, that was
People
the one
play
I was gonna
that.
say.
But also I really enjoyed. It's probably not that good objectively, but I did enjoy Madagascar. Did you
I
ever play
got
that?
stuck at the bit with spiders, like in on the actual Madagascar island.
It's been a while, but I think I remember.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's a bit with trees and spiders. I don't think I could get past that.
I think I had a Harry Potter game, and I remember I got stuck on the first level. I like it was like some level where you had to like sneak around someone, and for some
Uh,
reason like 7-year-old me was really bad at that. I always got freaked out when I had to sneak past like enemies.
yeah.
And so I just never played it. Like
No, I had the licensed Harry Potter 2 game, and yeah, there was a bit where you're meant to shoot some fucking thing in the garden over and over, and I just couldn't do it.
yeah.
I was fucking terrible at games.
Dude, yeah.
Uh,
I was pretty bad, but I think I just played so much that I just became like a master at the games that I had. Like I legit played Ratchet and Clank. You know how you can go into New Game Plus and stuff
oh
like
yeah,
that?
New Game.
I was probably did that in like my 12th New Game Plus for some of these things. Because I would
Yeah.
just play it and then I was just like, oh, it takes me back. All right, let me keep going. And I would just grind insane amounts of bolts. Like I could buy everything like 20 times over, like ridiculous amount. But I just really enjoyed it. And I remember always finding ways in every game to make a load of money. There's always like this little there's always some kind of add-on that you can make to your weapon or find some area. I remember specifically in Ratchet and Clank Deadlocked, or I think it was just called Ratchet because Clank's not in there. But in Ratchet Deadlock, there's like some mission that you can go into, and you can get like an electric upgrade to your weapon, which is like if it shocks one enemy, it shocks the next one. And there's like this one where there's a bunch of tiny enemies, and you can kind of just repeatedly kill them as they spawn, and you can massively farm bolts. I remember I did that until I had just an absurd amount of money. So stuff like that was how I spent my time playing.
Oh yeah, Deadlocked was free, wasn't it?
Deadlock was four, I think, because there was the first
Oh,
game.
yeah, I guess, yeah, oh, yeah, Ratchet. I always think that Commando is the first one, but no, it's the second.
Yeah, I know it's the first one I played, but I did go back and I played the first one not too long after I got Commando. And it's kind of different, you know. The first one compared to all the others, they kind of changed their style with Commando and they kept it for the rest of the series. But I do like the first game a lot. It has a lot of charm.
Deadlocked was actually called Gladiator in the UK.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember I heard about that. I always thought as a
Mm.
kid that it was like a completely different game, Gladiator, and I was like, "Oh man, how can I get my hands on Gladiator? I wonder what that game is." Because I didn't understand like, region renaming. I thought it was just a different game.
Yeah. I think I had Commando and Up Your Arsenal.
Me too. Those were
Because
the
I,
first ones I
because I
had.
think my friend had uh Gladiator and I never had it. And but I always thought it was the one I had, but I think it's actually the most recent one. Well, at the time.
Oh, dude, I
Yeah.
remember I played Commando a lot. I finished the game and stuff, but it's only single player, so there's only so much you can do. But I
Yeah.
remember Arsenal, that was when they introduced multiplayer. And I remember I actually got a PS2 network adapter. It was like this thing that you could plug in
Oh man.
and with the what is it? The antennas. It was this crazy
Yeah.
thing. And I remember like spending like hours at the screen trying to get like the internet connection working because it was like 2000s back then on a console. It wasn't that easy to get set up. You had to like put in DNS server. You had to do all these different things. And I'm amazed that like 8-year-old me figured out how to do all that. But I guess I was
And
just
I
really
struggled to
patient.
do that with presets too.
Mm.
Like, and that would be way easier.
Yeah, I remember I did that for like my PSP as well. I just like
Man,
spent so long.
small side note, but the PSP version thing was amazing. I think it was Tools of Destruction, maybe.
I don't think I played that one, but I did play one of them.
I'm
Um,
trying to remember. Oh, little voice.
I think I
Uh,
played the one Secret Agent Clank is what I played.
oh, I played Size Matters.
Yeah, Size Matters I think I didn't play, but I did play there's like a PS2 one for Tools of Destruction or something like that. I think I played that. Oh, it was like PS3 probably.
But yeah, Size Matters had like a really cool like hoverboard race thing that I loved.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
hoverboard race in the first game.
Hmm.
Yeah, actually hold on. So going back to Up Your Arsenal, so I got the network adapter. I got online and I remember just being like so into it because it's like the first time I'd ever played any game online, and I remember I would just join like random lobbies and shit. There was like a way you could look at who's online and who has lobbies just open, not password locked. I remember I would just join and I had like a mic actually. It was like
You had a mic.
yeah, I had some cheap shitty mic or whatever, and I would like come in and talk, and they're like, "How did you get in here?" Because they didn't understand that you could if you didn't lock your lobby, you could just have people come in. So
And they're just having some little kid fucking
yeah, yeah,
like
I would get kicked instantly, but it was for some reason I kept doing it. And I remember I played a lot. Although I sucked because I didn't understand like multiplayer metas and stuff. I was really experienced with single player, but I had no idea how to do like multiplayer, so everybody always beat me. But it was really fun because there was like a bunch of modes. There was like capture the flag, there was siege, there was uh just deathmatch, team deathmatch. It was
yeah.
kind of if people played like Halo back in the day, the LAN one, the original one. It was probably something like
Yeah.
that,
Okay.
but for Ratchet and Clank, it was really good. And I remember one thing as when Deadlock was gonna come out, sorry, when Deadlock was gonna come out, people were saying, "All right, I'll see you in Deadlock," because Like as Deadlock was coming out, people started, preparing for that, I guess. And it's like, oh, I'm not gonna play this one anymore. Deadlock was kind of different, but the online mode, I don't remember playing too much. Played it a little bit, but I don't think it was ever super popular. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Did you ever play online here?
Nah, I did not understand. I don't even think we had Wi-Fi
Yeah,
like when I had a PS2. I think we were still on like dial-up
I don't think
or
I had
maybe.
Wi-Fi either. I think, I used the Ethernet cable.
Oh yeah, we may have been on Ethernet, but we may have also been on dial-up.
I think actually no, it wasn't Ethernet because I remember you plug in a like phone-ish cable. It was like thinner than Ethernet.
Yeah, that's dial-up,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
that's what I used.
Oh man, that would have been a sturdy connection.
I mean, it's not like you need a whole lot of data. It's more about your like ping and stuff, but I'm sure it wasn't great.
I mean, I used to suck playing RuneScape on dial-up, so like Ratchet and Clank on a console would be probably worse.
Yeah, possibly. I don't really remember too much about the connection quality back
Uh,
then.
yeah.
But yeah, actually, did you ever know that if you played Ratchet and Clank the first one and on the same memory card and then you played, I think it was Arsenal or maybe Commando, there's like a special thing that you can unlock. You can unlock the Ratchet and Clank 1 weapons to buy in the later games.
No, yeah, I think I did know.
Yeah, I remember I figured that out because I got Ratchet and Clank 1 afterwards. I remember I was super trying to go really hard at the hoverboard races because, they're not that hard, but I guess I just didn't know how to do them, so I kept losing. I was like, oh man, if I just beat this game, I can uh, get the better weapons in the other games. Because you
Hmm.
can you can buy the Rhino, I think, in Commando if you have that.
Hmm.
There's just some weird trivia, and also like another trivia stuff. Did you ever go to the Insomniac Museum in any of the games?
Probably not. I probably didn't know what that was.
Dude, all right. So I think I actually figured out how to get into the Insomniac Museum totally by accident. Cause, I've been playing the games for so long that one of the things you start to do, you're just bored. You're like, how can I get into that area? How can I get onto that ledge that looks inaccessible? You just start jumping around. You mess around with equipment, and you're like, how can I glitch over there? And I remember I got really good at figuring out how to glitch out of areas in Ratchet and Clank. And one of the things is there's like a level in Going Commando. It's like this electric city kind of thing. I don't know if you remember the level I'm talking about. There's like a bunch of rails around it, and hmm, uh, there's like this big rail thing all around it. And it's
I
sort of
think I know the one. Is
yeah.
it like blue?
It's not really blue. It's more like brown, goldenish.
Then maybe not. There's one I remember which is like, yeah, you're like in space
No,
and there's
no,
like
this was
blue
on a
rails on.
planet. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's on a planet, but like it's a planet you can kind of fall off and die, I think.
Yeah. There's kind of like a big main. There's like a bunch of glass walls and stuff inside the city, and you got to go through like different areas. I don't know. It's probably no good way to explain it from my poor memory
Yeah.
right now. But anyway, there's this level where you can grind on the rails outside, and there's this like way that you can get out of bounds by I don't even remember what it was. I think you have to glitch through a wall that you're not supposed to be able to, get through to the other side. And then from there, you can jump off onto this cliff with a house. And this cliff with a house has like a bunch of enemies inside. And I think there's like this part where the wall or maybe the floor is not solid and you can fall through it. And then from there, there's like a teleporter to the Insomniac Museum. So I remember finding that as a kid. And I was just so like excited. I was like, what did I just find? And then after that, I eventually, when I started using the when I started to use the internet more, I figured out that oh, these are like Easter egg things that they include in all the games. But it's pretty cool because like it's like a big interactive museum. Um, there's like a bunch of prototype things that you can there's like prototype enemies that you can fight and ships that you can see and actually get into. Uh, and actually the Insomniac Museum, I think it's like do you know like the desert level where you have to like enter a hover bike race and stuff? Do you know that one?
Which game? In
In, in
Commander?
in Commando, yeah.
Nah, I don't remember.
It's like I don't know. It's like a big desert level and there's a bunch of cliffs and you can fall off them and stuff. If you, You really don't remember that one?
I don't really remember like there's the only one I really remember is the one where it's like a toxic swamp
I remember
and
that one.
like
Yeah, it's like
you have to
it's the
balance
first
them.
level. Yeah.
Huh.
Um,
Yeah,
but yeah. Anyway, that level, it's actually located in that level, super far off the map, but it's in the level. Um, so that's where you end up going when you go to the Insomniac Museum in that game. And then from there,
yeah.
I figured out that it exists in the other games, so I looked up how to get it into up your arsenal, and I don't know if it's in the first game. I don't know if there's one. There might be something though. But yeah, dude, I remember having lots of memories with Ratchet and Clank because I played that game so much as a
I
kid.
think I would say that's like probably my favorite game series from back then. That and so is Battlefront. Because
Yeah,
like even now, Dead Space is probably one of my favorite game series, and I think that's just the way there's upgrading weapons and New Game Plus and other things. It like reminds me of Ratchet and Clank in a way, and
yeah.
I just like I like games where you can just upgrade weapons. It's a very simple thing, but if I can upgrade something, I'm happy with it.
I don't even remember if there were upgrades in the first one. Like there was a little bit, but they definitely upped the upgrade system in the later games. And Deadlocked had like a bunch of different like buffs and stuff that you could put on it. It was like a big system at that point.
Yeah, that's what I liked about the PS size matters was like you could add yeah, the guns were just a lot more complicated upgrade systems that were you could do more with.
Hmm. And I remember, what was it? I remember just getting like max weapons and shit. There's like, the Rhino in like every game is just insanely expensive for like if you play the game normally. Like
Yeah.
you won't get that amount of money just playing it normally. You have to do like two new games or something or just grind out bolts. But I remember always grinding it out in every game. That was always the best.
Yeah, that was a cool.
It's such an OP weapon, but it's really fun. It's like a big rocket launcher that just auto launches when you hold it down. And I think it has a load of ammo. It just homing attacks everything. It's just really powerful. Definitely one of those fun weapons.
I don't remember. I'm literally looking at a thing of the guns right now to try and
There's a couple
remember
I
which
remember.
one.
So there's like the blaster, of course, that's in every game. There's the gravity bomb. I think it was called that in Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. I remember a lot of the weapons in the first game. There's like this Visibomb or something, Visibomb, where it's basically a rocket launcher, except when you launch it, the camera goes onto the front of the missile and you can control it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's used to get a couple of different gold bolts and stuff. Did you ever collect the gold or titanium bolts or whatever they were in the
I
game?
tried to clear the titanium, but like it was before I had the thought to just Google locations, so it was I only found the ones that I could see, and I feel like one of my friends had a magazine with like the Ratchet and Clank cheat codes and titanium bolt locations.
This was
So
yeah. So this was like before I had a PC or internet connection, like besides the multiplayer. So I think I actually got all of the bolts in Commando and maybe even Ratchet and Clank 1 by hand. Just from sheer like looking at literally every spot. It's doable, but it's very difficult if you I don't know if you haven't played that before or done that before, I say. But it is very fun because I think in Ratchet and Clank 1, if you collect all the gold bolts, you can upgrade different weapons
yeah,
with your gold bolts, and you can get like the gold versions of the weapons. And that's pretty fun.
I think my favorite was the bouncer,
Oh yeah, the bouncer.
or maybe the plasma core.
I was definitely getting it to the point where I was like really good at the single player meta, and I knew like what the best weapons were and how to clear different things. Because you remember
Oh no,
in Going Commando, there was that arena where you could fight lots of different enemies, and they had like different challenges. Like one is like don't get hit, one is beat it in like a certain amount of
yeah,
time.
yeah, 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 and yeah, I remember
Dude,
that.
I actually so you know how they did remasters for like PS3 and stuff?
Yeah, I sometimes I like think about getting the PS3 just to play those.
Well, I got that, and I remember like I apparently just got way worse, after not playing for so long because I couldn't do most of those arena challenges, dude. I remember I did
Wasn't
all of them as a kid, but oh man, It's actually quite a pain to. You have to last like 10, 15 minutes with tons of enemies not getting hit once. It's like very tedious. But
I
yeah.
wonder. I wonder if they'll put like if they'll remaster the Ratchet and Clank for PS5. I'd be so happy with that because we've had this conversation before about what they've done to Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, yeah, so
There's
we can
like
talk about that. So like we've been talking about the actual gameplay, but the actual, story and sort of theme of how it is, I really like because it's really meant for like a slightly older audience than, we were
all
playing
the
it.
names were like up your Arsenal,
Yeah, yeah, it's more
fucking
like
Grand Commander.
tongue-in-cheek kind of, innuendo in there and stuff like that. And it's kind of just it doesn't take itself too seriously. It mostly focuses on the gameplay being fun, and I like that. But now, ever since they started rebranding it, it's mainly meant for a much younger audience and much
And
more like Disney kind of thing.
it was after that film. They made a film which I remember watching that.
You watched it? I never watched it.
You know, because I was ill one day and I saw it was on Netflix for a bit, so I was like, oh, you know what? I loved Ratchet and Clank back in the day, and I watched this film. It was fucking terrible, and they've done the thing now where like, oh, there's a female version of like a female Ratchet in like the newest game with their really soft animation style on their characters'
Yeah,
ass.
he looks really weird now. He looks like his eyes are too big, right?
He looks like a cereal mascot.
Yeah, yeah, he does.
That's on here.
Looks like I don't know. The PS2 ones were really great though. Like the cutscenes were all really funny.
Yeah, they were great games. Like I think it's kind of a shame that it didn't really pop off as a series. Like it could have been a really recognizable one, and I guess it still is very
Yeah,
recognizable,
in
but
the
not.
video game it is, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
But like if you look at other video game like I guess characters or series, either became a lot more iconic. This one like kind of it didn't like flop, but it's still not
It sort of
big.
stayed within the realm of PS2, PS3, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think Ratchet and Clank Future Series wasn't bad. That one is like Size Matters, Tools of Destruction, A Crack in
oh yeah,
Time. Did you ever play
yeah.
those?
I played Tools of Destruction and Size Matters, but I did not play Crack on Time.
Yeah, I think that was PS3 only, but I did play that and I
I,
enjoyed
I
it.
I think Tools of Destruction was PS3 only, but I had a PS3 for a bit, so when I got it, I played it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'd actually never played that one for some reason. Or maybe I did and I just completely forgot about it because I don't think it was a super memorable game. Like the PS3 editions weren't as good, but they were still pretty solid. Like definitely really good for what it was on PS3 at the time.
Yeah.
I think yeah, I mean they just always kept the same formula throughout the PS2 and even the PS3 ones where it's basically all about the combat and upgrading the weapons and just sort of like that.
Yeah.
And you go around to different planets and all the planets are really interesting and very creatively done.
You could I'm not, could you change the appearance of the ship or upgrade it or
Oh
something?
yeah,
I remember
yeah. From Commando you could do that.
yeah, I know it was just, but I couldn't remember what exactly you could do, but I used to really enjoy that.
So there's like this space station outpost where it's like really tiny, but you can go there and you can get upgrades from I think it's called like Slim or something. It's supposed to be like this black market ship upgrade or whatever. You could
Oh
actually
yeah, yeah.
upgrade it for like mechanics. You could
It's
make
called
it
like Slim
faster.
Cognito, wasn't it?
Yeah, Slim Cognito. That was the guy. You could upgrade like speed, your damage, because there's like a bunch of missions in that game where you can use the ship.
Yeah.
Commando was actually like it added a lot of stuff compared to the first game. Like they added all those ships. They made bigger levels. They made more weapons, upgrades. It was really good, you
I
know.
know it's what you want from a sequel, isn't it? Just take a good recipe, don't fuck with it too much, and just improve on it.
Yeah, like I think they really nailed the recipe by Commando, which is impressive.
Yeah.
And Arsenal was like more of that, but it was also just it had some improvements. Like it had a few new tools that you could use to get around the map. It had the multiplayer, obviously, which is a huge thing. I'm sure that was like a big thing at the time, PS2 multiplayer. Um, I don't think there was like too much PS2 multiplayer back in the day, was there?
No. There was. Did you play Star Wars Battlefront?
I did, and I was about to say that, but I think I only played it like locally, with someone actually sitting next to
Oh
me.
yeah, I never played it online, but it was just I think that is probably the other most iconic PS2 game for me. Would be like the Star Wars Battlefront one and
Actually, I
two.
might have played it online a little bit, because
Yeah,
I think I would have had the adapter at the time. But that game was okay. That game was really fun. Like holy shit.
that was great. I never fully understood actually how to play the campaign. I just mainly did free play over and over.
Oh shit, there is a campaign, isn't there? I
Yeah,
totally
it's just
forgot.
in order. I mean, it's kind of just you go to this place and you fight as a certain unit. Really, it's not really
Yeah, I only ever really
story
played the
based.
multiplayer.
But yeah, the local multiplayer was great.
I remember having a lot of good times on there, especially because
Uh,
there's like a bunch of different classes you could be. Like you could be the Jedi, you could be the droideka or whatever. It's like that
Droidica, yeah, the
droideka.
ones that like roll with like shields and shit.
Those things are really powerful. Yeah,
I
man.
liked playing the super battle droids, like with like the triple shot and stuff. They were good.
Oh yeah, yeah,
There was like the jetpack unit. I think they were called Shadow Trooper or some shit.
yeah. It's sort of like Boba Fett or something, right?
Yeah, basically, but it's like a stormtrooper version.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. And yeah, occasionally you get to play as like a Jedi or a Sith, and that's when you have all the fun.
Because like they're really powerful.
Yeah, it's just
You
fucking
can
fun
just
using
jump around. They
lightsaber.
got the force. Yeah, that was good times, man. Like the
Yeah,
games were so simple and just fun back then. I
yeah.
I don't know about now. Maybe they still are, but I haven't done a whole lot of gaming back recently.
I
And
think there's still good games. It's just I think sequel culture is a big thing now, isn't it? Like people are only really interested if it's made by like Bethesda or whatever big game companies or
well,
see a sequel to their shit. I don't know.
yeah. So all the games I played, I never really got into FPS. Like on PS3, I had like two Call of Duty games. I think I had World at War and maybe one of the other games. I don't even remember which one it was. Maybe the first Modern Warfare or something. But
Nice.
I never really got into that. I
Uh,
played the campaign, I beat it, but I never got into multiplayer.
I had FPSs on PS2. I had Medal of Honor. I think it
I
was
have
European.
Medal. So you know what? I have Medal of Honor on GameCube because I had a GameCube.
Man,
I still have one, but I played it.
Medal of Honor was actually really good back in the day. Like it just did the wrong things, but it was really good.
Yeah, it kind of fucked it up self. It was trying to be a competitor to Call of Duty, and I just sort of fell flat because it was really hard to compete with Call of Duty.
Yeah. Well, I think they concentrated more on the campaigns rather than the multiplayer aspect, and obviously Call of Duty at COD 4, even COD 2 was like the online was pretty good, but like COD 4 is when it just they had the recipe, just do a good campaign with some nice characters that you can attach to, but like concentrate on the multiplayer, whereas Medal of Honor I think was still not really doing characters in the same way
I don't
and not
remember.
doing many.
I don't remember how it was on PS2 because I didn't play it, but on GameCube, the Medal of Honor controls just are really bad. It's like hard to aim and shit because of how the GameCube I guess the
But I
joysticks
mean,
are.
yeah, I don't think that was a big issue with PS2.
Yeah, PS2 probably way better controls, but
Yeah.
I remember I was struggling to finish it because I would just keep dying until I figured it took me a while to learn the controls basically, but I did finish the campaign. It was good in my opinion. I never played too much multiplayer other than like local. I don't even know if there was online. Probably not. Thinking about it. So what else was major on PS2? There's like a bunch more. I think we've only talked about like Ratchet
Did
and
you
Clank.
play Rayman?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think I played any Rayman. Never had one of those.
Not even like Raven Rabbits or whatever.
Nope.
Oh, I quite liked it. I didn't play it too much. I'm also not convinced. I had Raven Rabbits on PS2, but I'm not sure if I had Rayman on like a disc on PC anyway.
I know I've
But
seen it on Steam and stuff. Like they're still making some, I think, right?
yeah, probably.
It's a platformer, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it looks interesting. I probably would have liked it as a kid, but I just never got it.
I enjoyed it, but once I know it was a bit too complex for me. Uh, what else was on PS2?
Did you ever play any Sonic games?
You know, I have never owned a Sonic game apart from Sonic and Mario Olympic Games.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess I'll talk about the ones I own because I think
Oh,
I owned three different ones. So the first one I owned, well, actually, I don't know if it was the first one, but probably was Sonic Heroes. It was this kind of weird game where the idea was that you could pick a team out of like three Sonic characters each. So one would be like the standard Sonic, Knuckles, Tails. The other one would be like Rouge, Shadow, and I don't even remember. I think it's like a robot or whatever. And there would be another one with like the big cat or something. But anyway, you'd pick a team, and then the idea is to clear the levels. You need to like swap characters because like one is like a power character, he can punch through shit.
oh,
One's a
yeah,
fast
yeah,
character,
yeah.
one's a flying character. So like in Sonic's team, Sonic would be the fast one, Knuckles would be the power one, and Tails would be the flying one. So like you'd have to cross a gap with Tails selected. You have to run across something with Sonic and then punch through something with Knuckles. But it wasn't honestly objectively a great game, but I remember playing it through I think several times and just enjoying it. You kind of run through the level and pick up different rings and stuff. They were trying a lot of different ideas for Sonic games in the PS2 era. I remember because the first one was such a major hit, even though I never played it because it was like Dreamcast or something. I think it's called what is it called in the UK? The console like
What, the
Genesis
Sega?
or the
Yeah.
Dreamcast, whatever Sonic was
I
on.
think I think I think they were on both. I think there were two separate gens.
There's like some
I'm not-
console that Sonic was on that has a different name in Europe than it does in the US.
Oh, I always thought Dreamcast. It may be Dreamcast.
I think it's called the Genesis or something, right?
It, oh, okay. So yeah, Sega Genesis.
But yeah, like everyone
It
liked the
was Sega
first game.
Genesis.
Everyone like the first game was really popular, and it was all about like speed and maneuvering through the level, which was something that hadn't really been done too much. It was kind of like Mario, the side scroller, but it was
Yeah.
more about speed rather than clearing the enemies and stuff. But they were trying a lot of different stuff with the Sonic game in PS2, obviously with the new 3D stuff. I think Sonic Adventure was really good, but obviously never played that because console. I didn't have it. But they tried like Sonic Heroes. They tried. I'll mention later. They tried like a hoverboard game, Sonic Riders. Um, and it was also I don't know. I think it was kind of just big hit and miss because they didn't really know what to do with all 3D space. I think the best option was probably just to keep it high speed, but they tried like all these different puzzle things, like in Sonic Heroes, which you have to slow down and solve the puzzle. It's not great. You can still kind of speed through it, but it's not the same. So yeah, Sonic Heroes, I think it was decent. I played it a little bit recently, tried to play it, and I just couldn't get into it. But that doesn't mean the game's bad. It probably just means uh,
Did you play Spyro?
I did play Spyro actually, but not on PS2 or anything. It's a
Oh, really?
PS1 game, and I bought it on PS3 because you can play PS1 games on PS3.
Oh,
So I played the first Spyro. I don't think I beat it though.
I think I had Spyro 2 on PS2. I really enjoyed it, but yeah, I could not finish it.
It just gets it's very basic. It's like the same pattern over and over again. Like you clear one level, go to this other one. There's not a lot of whole new stuff.
Yeah.
It's
I've got the Red Knight trilogy of it on like Switch, but I didn't find it that engaging.
I'm sure the later games improved, but the first one is just very like back in the day it would have been a good game, but now it's kind of like lacking, I think. It's just too
Yeah,
simple.
it's kind of like a 3D platformer more than
It is
like
it is
there's
a
not
3D
much.
platformer basically.
Yeah, there's no, but like the combat is really, really boring.
Yeah, I mean it's like the
I'm not
one
really.
hit kill combat.
Yeah.
Um I mean there's like a bunch of stuff I haven't talked about yet. So anyway, go back to Sonic for a little bit, finish that off.
Oh, yeah.
So there was Sonic Heroes, obviously, and then I think there was also not really a Sonic game because but it's like Shadow the Hedgehog. Did you ever see the Shadow the Hedgehog game? Did you ever know about
I
it?
think I think I knew it was a thing, but like,
It was
oh
basically
yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
it,
seen the cover.
it's like basically this really edgy game
Yeah. Oh
where you
man, it
play
was.
you play as Shadow, and there's the idea. One of the big things in the game is that there's like a bunch of different levels, and which ones you play depends on what you do in each level. So like you can choose the good path, the neutral path, or the evil path. So like if you decide to kill some certain NPC, you go on the evil path. If you decide to save someone, you go in the good. If you do like neither, you go in the neutral. So there's like three arcs that you can go through. I think you can change which arc you're going through. Like you can be good for a while, and then if you switch to bad, you'll suddenly go on the bad path. But anyway, I just remember that game was like less about speed. Shadow has like a instead of Sonic where he runs, he has like a weird ice skating slide mechanic. A lot of people I remember complaining about it, but I didn't find it annoying. But anyway, you can pick up guns and you can like kill monsters, which leads to if you kill a bunch of monsters, you're on the good path. But you can also kill like the soldiers fighting the monsters, which puts you on the bad path. And there's like some plot about like Marie, I think, because apparently like in the lore, like Shadow is born out of like some experiment or something, and he's evil, but he for some reason remembers like this girl Marie, and he has to save her. It's very weird. I don't remember too much about it, but you're like there's this one level where you're on a spaceship and you have to find her.
Yeah.
But I just remember like as a kid it was cool to me because like Shadow had a gun. Like on the cover he has like holding like a pistol or
Oh
something.
yeah, yeah. That's what I was looking at now. He's got like a rocket launcher, making an angry face behind a explosion.
You can definitely tell it was like marketed to like edgy kids and stuff. It's like, oh
Oh
shit,
man, yeah,
I can
yeah,
be
no.
evil in the game. Like I mean that was a probably a new concept back then or something. Maybe you can choose to be evil or good. It was kind of like if you ever played like, Infamous.
Uh, I watched the Let's Play of it, but never played it.
I've played a little bit of it because when Sony got hacked on PS3, they were offering like a free game.
Oh yeah,
So that's what I got, and I played it for a little bit. But it has like the same kind of evil good system. Like you
oh
can
yeah.
you can blow up like a water reservoir, and your evil points will go up. But if you heal someone, the evil points will go down, and you'll become good. But I think other games, started to try to do that. But Shadow the Hedgehog might have been pretty early on that. I don't know.
Shadow the Hedgehog set the path for all games to come.
Yeah, I think the ratings on that game are pretty bad. Like people didn't really like Shadow the Hedgehog game because they complain about like the ice skating mechanic. They complain about it's not really a speed game. You just kind of run around and shoot things. I don't know. I think it was an all right game in my opinion. I've seen people speedrun it on Twitch, which is interesting. Like lots of old games that I remember playing back in the day, people speedrun nowadays. And
I searched Shadow the Hedgehog right now just to look at the cover,
mhm.
and the fourth image result is a fan art of a pregnant Shadow the Hedgehog, like on the main like on the video game Shadow the Hedgehog like Google search result. It shows the cover, shows three character design, and then shows a pregnant Shadow the Hedgehog fan art clearly done in paint or some shit.
Bro, I think the Sonic series really fucked a lot of people up. Brought the furries out,
Oh yeah.
like for real. I remember liking Sonic as a little kid, but I was just, I never saw the show or anything. I just played like the PS2 games.
There was some kid in my, that like there was that short film of a kid in who like wanted to be Sonic or some shit.
Are you talking about the one
And
on YouTube?
yeah, that was a kid in the year below me in school. I remember someone showed me that meme, like they like think because it was like a meme at the time.
Was it
And
was
he
it was it
occasionally,
like the sad one?
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's like some pale blonde kid. He
Oh
was
yeah,
he was in the year below. He used to line up behind me at lunch occasionally.
what the fuck? I didn't know. Holy shit, that's interesting.
That was a weird one. I remember that like 'cause, yeah, I remember someone was like, "Oh, he's like in films," and I was like, "Oh, what film?" And then I was like, "Oh, I recognize that screenshot because I think PewDiePie had his face as like his profile picture on Twitter or something at the time." And I was like, "Oh, that's a kid below me
Oh, dude,
in
I
the year
actually
below me."
think I think I used that, or maybe not. I did. Someone on RS Twitter used that for a little bit. I think maybe Dumbfounded did. Do you remember
Yeah,
that? He
no,
had like a Sonic avatar for a while. I think it was that kid.
I think I actually, yeah, I think I told him that that kid was in the year below me. But yeah, yeah, small world.
Dude, that's crazy. I
Yeah,
remember
man.
watching it was like this weird, dark, sentimental like short film or something, and it was like, all
Yeah,
right,
it's pretty depressing.
yeah, it's like about lost childhood or something. Isn't there like one
Yeah,
scene where it's like an old man or something is passing by and it's supposed to be him, maybe?
yeah. No, no, I've been trying to find that for ages, but I couldn't find it. But yeah, he was in the year below me.
Oh yeah. But you didn't know him. You just
Oh
knew.
no, like yeah, I think he kept to himself. He had like bad autism.
It's interesting. So some like filmmaker just found some autistic kid to put on a
Yeah,
Sonic costume.
he literally basically played himself. Like I think he already liked Sonic a lot and had autism. Like I think it was basically biographical.
Yeah, it's interesting because you see these like weird like art pieces, and you never. I usually never stop to think too much about like who the people are and why they got together and made that. But yeah, it is. I guess that's how that happens. All right.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, just finishing up on Sonic. One thing that I got was the Mega Collection. And the Mega Collection is basically all the old Sonic games put into one like PS2 disc. So you could play all the original Sonic games like 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles or whatever. And they also had a bunch of like spin-off games where like the bobble stacking game or something where it's kind of like Candy Crush almost. Like bobbles fall down and if they're the
Well,
same
like
color in a
Bejeweled,
row. Hmm?
kind of like Bejeweled, like the whole match four to like destroy them kind of
Yeah,
game.
yeah, it's sort of like Bejeweled. There was like a version of that with Sonic and like it was called like Dr. Robotnik's Blob Machine or something, Bob Machine. But
Man.
there's stuff like that on there too. And there was like a couple other Sega small release games. Like I don't remember what it was called exactly, but it was basically about this like scientist or whatever who goes to this like toxic waste facility and he gets infected or something and he now has the power to turn into goo, like slime, and he can crawl through pipes. It was super weird as a kid. I remember it's like, what the fuck is this? It's like a comic book style too, so like each level is like in a comic book frame, and then the next level you jump through the frames or something.
Yeah.
I remember I couldn't play it too much because I was getting creeped out at like the concept. I don't know, it was just very weird, but it was probably decent. You kind of like side scroll fight a bunch of enemies. So
Yeah.
there's a game like that on there too, but it was the Sonic Mega Collection. If anyone ever played that, it's good value. It's like 10, 12 different games on there. And then the last one I think I played was Sonic Riders, and I think there was a sequel to that, Sonic Riders Zero
Yeah,
Gravity.
that was on 360 as well, I think.
Did you play it?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was all right. Like it was just a kart racer with a slightly different skin.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd never played too many racing games at the time, but I remember it was decent. Although I tried to play it again recently because I was like emulating a bunch of PS2 games and I wanted to try it. And dude, I could not for the life of me figure out how to actually play it. Like I couldn't even finish the first level.
Man.
So I don't know if that's just me completely forgetting.
While we're on the subject of races, this is a very important game to me. Did you ever play Crazy Frog Racer?
Crazy Frog Racer, I don't think so. Is that the
Yeah. That is a licensed, basically Mario Kart with the Crazy Frog characters from the At Left video.
like literally the Crazy Frog from the music video?
Yeah, it is. It is Crazy Frog racing a bunch of different characters from the music video.
Bro, that thing is such like a 2000s shit. Like,
I saw they were making an NFT for his most recent music video, like a month ago.
most recent music video, he's still making them.
Yeah, he's came back to make an NFT version, I think.
Oh my god, dude.
But yeah, Crazy Frog Racer. That was
Dude, that song was super
actually like,
annoying, but it's super like earwormy, so it got really
oh yeah.
popular. I
It
think
was also just like the first like dumb animated like after that there was like Gummy Bear, all them new
oh
child ones were
fucking
like
Gummy Bear, dude. I remember I got so fucking addicted to that shit. Listening to that, it was like, oh man, I got it stuck in my
nah.
head really bad.
I was always a Crazy Frog purist. I didn't really fuck with Gummy Bear. Did you ever see the Gummy Bear film?
No, I did not
Oh
know there was a
fuck.
film.
It fucking sucks. It's like a Christmas film. It's like, oh, what's it called? Gummy Bear Christmas.
I see you posted Final Fantasy. What is that? Six?
But it was meant to say seven.
Oh, seven. Yeah, I never played any Final Fantasy games on PS2 or PS3. I think the ones that I played them on were PSP because you could get old games like PS1 games on there.
Yeah.
But I emulated most of them too, the older ones. But I did play. I never finished the Final Fantasy game because they're insanely long, but I did play a lot of Final Fantasy 9. Um, I played like there's like 4 discs or something, and I made it. I think I finished the second disc or something. And then I did play a lot of Final Fantasy 5, although I got like perma stuck on a boss, so I stopped playing it. But I made it really far. I remember. And then what else did I play? I think I played the first one a little bit. It's like a really weird old first version. And then I think I played 10 a little bit because I got 10 gifted to me on PS2, although I never actually played it. I feel kind of bad. My friend, like for my birthday, he gifted me Final Fantasy 10, and I don't know, I never played it. But I did play a little bit on emulator because I think at the time I didn't have the PS2 console anymore, sadly. Um,
I
and
tried
then
to play Final Fantasy 7 back in the day, like, but it was way too complex for
oh
like
oh
my
I
age.
did play Final Fantasy 7 for quite a while on PSP emulated, or maybe not emulated, but on PSP. And yeah, I don't know, it's just a really long game, so I made it quite far, but I got tired of it.
I don't
You
know. I
need a
feel
lot of
like
patience for that.
patience, but you also have to be kind of not stupid. And as like an 8-year-old, I feel like a turn-based JRPG.
One of the hard things about like that game is to progress, you need to. I remember getting stuck in several areas because there's like this one little NPC you need to go talk to, or there's this one little thing that you need to go do. And the way the map is kind of structured, it's all like texture art, and
Yeah.
it's what is it? You need to like walk around, and it's hard to see like where the doors are and stuff because you can't rotate your camera or anything. So like if you need to enter some building and there's a door there and you don't realize that, you can be walking around for quite a while. So that
Yeah.
was an annoying part. And also, I didn't really. I've played a lot of JRPGs, and I honestly don't really like the random walking around encounter system.
Hmm.
It's just kind of annoying. Have you ever played Earthbound or anything like that?
I have not, but like I like the soundtrack and I really like the art. I've just never played it.
I did play it, and the sole reason I played it was because I saw this video of like the final boss fight, and apparently
Oh yeah,
the final boss fight is like super weird.
the mum one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
like
I was like, how did the game get to this point? I wanted to play it for myself, so I got it on my
yeah,
PSP. I emulated, I think, the SNES version because that's the best version of it. It's apparently on Game Boy, but it's not very good. It's like lower quality, obviously.
yeah.
Um, but I played it all the way through, and it's a really good game. I have to say,
I
even
think
for like the age range and the for it coming out in 1995.
no, it's considered. Yeah, I know it's considered like one of the best.
It's considered a cult classic, but at the time of release, it wasn't very popular because
Yeah.
in like 1995, the big thing was like 3D graphics and stuff, and so the 2D RPGs were kind of like fading out. Because at the time, I don't remember what kind of Final Fantasy was out by the time, but I think even then they were starting to try to use 3D stuff. So like the
Final Fantasy 7 was the first 3D one, and that's 1997, so it'd be like 2 years after.
yeah, so people were like working on that. People were like, I think 1995, 1998, people were mostly interested in stuff like Sonic Adventure, like the 3D running around stuff, because that was the big thing back then. And so it just kind of got overlooked. It's like, it's a meh RPG. Not a lot of people played it, but it's now revered apparently.
I think Dragon Quest is the one that's considered the best JRPG. I don't know which
I've
one.
never played
If
Dragon
you,
Quest, but Dragon Quest is massively popular in Japan.
yeah, I've not
There's a
played it. I
lot of
just
references to Dragon Quest in many different things,
yeah,
in like anime and stuff. I've never
yeah,
played it though, so I don't really get most of the references. But it's an RPG, so
yeah.
um. But I don't know. Did you play any other RPGs?
Not at that age.
Yeah,
Like
I wasn't much of an RPG person back then.
I don't know how I probably had the most free time at that age, but I just never had the time, I guess. I was just doing stupid kid shit. So like I feel like an RPG would have taken me about 4 years. So there's no real point.
We didn't have the grinding mentality that we do now.
Oh God, no. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have to put in a lot of time for that. Um,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of other stuff. So I know you didn't play it, but The other two main series that I played on PS2 were Sly Cooper and Jack and Daxter.
Oh yeah, I remember checking that stuff. I never played it, but
Jack and Daxter was is probably a close second to Ratchet and Clank in terms of my favorite, series on
I
the
remember
game.
I refused to play it because I thought the character was a bit similar to Ratchet, so I was like, oh, I need to choose between the two.
The game, it's a really similar style, like very similar style to Ratchet and Clank, but it's different enough to where playing both of them is pretty interesting. Like you don't get too much
I think
overlap.
maybe it's Dexter I'm thinking of because yeah, Jack is a human. So yeah, I think it was Dexter reminded me of
I mean, he's
fucking
not human. He's like in the lore, he's like human-ish race, but he has like the long ears
yeah,
that
but
everybody has.
in conclusion, he doesn't at all look like Ratchet.
Yeah, it doesn't really. And
Maybe is it Sly? What was the other game? Sly
Sly
Cooper.
Cooper. Sly Cooper's like the thieving or sneaky stealth game.
Man, they loved having like some nice like charming animal like main characters back then, man.
Yeah, that's actually the main thing that they used for a long time because like Crash Bandicoot and stuff.
Yeah,
They were thinking a lot about how do I make a good mascot, and there's like some failed ones. Like, have you ever heard of Bubsy? Bubsy the
I
Bobcat.
think
It was like
Bubsy
a
the Bob.
really shitty PS1 game that came out that was just awful controls
Oh yeah,
platformer.
yeah, yeah.
And
I
he would
think
constantly like shout annoying lines while you're playing it. There's like some
isn't
YouTube
there
Let's Plays on
isn't
it.
there a film? Isn't there?
I think they try to make a film, yeah.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Cool Cat Saves the Kids.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like there's definitely something to Bubsy that like I've seen. I don't know if there's a I hate everything video on it or something, but
There's like a
yeah,
bunch of videos that you can watch. I actually tried playing it because I got like an emulator and it's like, all right, let me
yeah.
try it, and I
I
couldn't play
think
for 5 minutes.
oh my God, I'm looking at the cover for Bubsy 3D right now and fucking hell.
Bubsy 3D
There's
is literally like trying to cash in on the popularity of 3D platformers at the time,
there's
and
just a mammoth in the corner for some reason. Oh, this is impressive.
it's basically like someone tried to like throw a bunch of like levels together, and they completely
Yeah.
failed. I think there's like a video where someone actually plays the entire Bubsy game, like they have to sit through it. I commend that person.
I mean, they still made a game in 2019.
Jesus, they're trying to reboot it, man.
Bubsy Paws on Fire was on Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo Switch, man. I wonder if someone's just like dumping money onto Bubsy.
It's alright. Most of the time it got. Oh, it was also on PC and PS4, but it
I mean,
seems to
I
have
mean,
mainly got.
okay, so maybe they've actually improved, but I just never really heard of Bubsy.
I mean, it's mainly getting like 5 out of 10s, apart from one that gave it 80 out of 100.
Weird.
Then one gave it 2 out of 10. So like for the same game, same console. So who knows?
Game reviews are super sus,
Yeah,
honestly.
I don't know if Bubsy can afford to bribe game reviews.
I mean, maybe that's where all their budget went.
Yeah,
Like, have you seen like some of the videos where it's like old '80s games? The reviews are just complete nonsense in the magazines, and you can clearly see they're playing like a different game, or they never played the game at all. They're using random screenshots talking about mechanics that don't exist, and you can clearly see that they were paid to write the review. It's pretty funny. I think a lot of that still happened even in the PS2 era, PS1 era. Um, let's see, but yeah, Sly Cooper was really good. Sad that you didn't play it because you'd have definitely liked it. It's very different from Jack or Ratchet and Clank. It's more of like it's like an actual stealth game, but
yeah.
it's not like Thief or anything. It's has a little bit of combat and has some weird mechanics that you can do. Like especially the later games, they really improved on it. The first game, it was you had like one hit point, literally. So if you got hit, I guess it makes sense for a stealth game. If you got hit, then that's it. There were like little things in the levels you could unlock to get an extra hit point, or two more extra hit points. But it was still mostly you need to sneak up on the enemy and hit him, and not go face to face combat. And there's like a bunch of different bosses and stuff and really interesting areas. It was just really well done, in my opinion. And also,
But
then the later games they added more health and they added more different like side little missions and stuff.
what do you think of this Sly Cooper Ratchet and Clank fan art collab?
I think they basically copied the Sly 2 model and they just sort of
Look at it. Why is it so low quality? Like,
So I'm saying they literally took the PS2 model and they just put him in the like PS5 or what is it, PS4.
yeah, it's in the PS5. That is in the PS5.
God,
Yeah.
it's weird. It's weird knowing that PS5 is out because like I remember back then PS5 was like this was before even PS3 was out. I think people were making like PS5 memes or something.
Oh man, like Xbox 720 like
Xbox
teaser videos,
720.
and then you get like Rickrolled, or it's just like terrible photoshops of what the next console will look like,
I
and
always
a
remember the
teaser for Modern
controllers,
Warfare
dude.
4.
Do you remember the controllers where it has like a billion buttons on it and like 10 joysticks on
Man,
it? It's fucking insane.
I yeah, I just googled Xbox 720 and holy shit,
They should have made an Xbox 720, bro, just for the memes. They should have called it not Xbox One. That's a dumb name.
that is the worst mock-up controller ever. It's got like yeah, there's three analog sticks.
Three
No,
analog.
four. There's four analog sticks, including one in the middle.
Yeah, how would you
Uh,
control that, bro?
the ones I'm sending you this. This is fucked.
All right, let's see.
You may want to just, if you can be asked, you should definitely edit like in these images just over really quickly.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I just sent it again. Fuck's sake. uh, look, one sec, look at this controller.
Holy shit! It's like they took another controller and they glued it on the back.
Why is it UMIG as the buttons and like
UMIG. Well, they needed more letters, man. So
it's got four analog sticks,
four analog
two
sticks.
D-pads, eight letter buttons, like, and then there's three little nipples on the top thing. What was the plan?
I don't know, man. Like, just in the future, when Xbox 720 comes out, humans will just have so many more appendages that you can control the game with
Oh
even finer
shit, no
detail.
way. This is a leak of the Xbox 720 next to the Wii phone.
The Wii phone?
The Wii phone, bro.
The Wii phone, bro.
Oh my god. I fucking love it.
I don't remember hearing about the Wii phone back then, but I did hear about everything else.
Did you ever see the back in the day the teasers for RuneScape PS2?
RuneScape PS2. I remember there was like talk of like RuneScape a console. It was like a ridiculous
No,
idea.
back in the day it was just people like pretending to like that RuneScape PS2 was coming.
Bro, how awful would that be? Imagine having to fucking move the mouse everywhere. Like, you play
Did
this
you
entire game with your mouse.
yeah. First take with a PS2 analog.
Bro, people come. You know how people coming out with like mobile methods now? People will be coming out with PS2 method,
Oh man.
PS2 exploit. They fuck something up on the port.
Wait, did you check out the Wii phone?
Holy shit, dude! It's like
It's a Wii controller with a screen and a little and number keys. It's
that probably has
amazing.
the that probably has the resolution of the original Game Boy on an even smaller screen. God, that must be
Oh,
fun to play on.
and someone like spent, I mean, probably not too long based on the image, but still, someone was like, you know what, this Wii phone needs to be mocked up.
I guess that's kind of how like early 2000s or mid 2000s YouTube was or internet in general. Like people would just make dumb shit like this and try to get people to believe it. But now it's
No,
sort of like not many people are really gonna fall for it, even the young kids, I think.
no, I feel like young kids would still fall for that.
Maybe, but it would be like people knew less back then in general. The internet was still slightly new. That's why stuff like this would work because you could people didn't weren't as used to Photoshop.
Yeah. When was Photoshop made into a thing?
Photoshop
Like,
is
oh,
actually really old. It's like from the 90s, but it
when would it?
probably wasn't that used until like
Because it used to not
2000s.
be subscription based. So like, I remember CS4 was when I was in like when I would have been 15, 14.
I used Photoshop in like middle school and high school because
And
we had a
that was
class.
before you could subscribe for it, and I think it used to cost hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
The subscription thing is
But
really recent, yeah.
yeah, and actually it was CS6, and then it just went to CC, which is what it is now.
hmm
Yeah.
But I did
Oh
use
man,
Photoshop for a while.
I like it. It's a good thing. Have
Yeah, I mean it was
it's
fun. I mainly use it just for fucking around. Like I would do face swaps instead on like random photos I found because
it's
it's really easy once you figure it out. It's like you just
yeah.
crop it one, but it looks really
I
good.
I used it to like. like fake ways to get off of school and shit.
There's like different
I j-
things that you can Photoshop. Like I remember photoshopping like you know how people did these like fake controllers and shit. I
yeah,
never got to that level, but I would like fake some like logos or whatever, do stuff like that.
uh,
That was fun.
crazy.
All right, so what was I talking about? I think I was talking about Sly Cooper, wasn't I?
Oh yeah,
So Sly Cooper, yeah, really good game. It was really strong throughout the whole series. Like the second one, kind of like Ratchet and Clank, that had a bunch of changes, but the core gameplay was still really similar. Oh, this is a magic seed. I thought this was a spirit seed, so I'm going all the way to the farming guild. My bad. But yeah, Sly Cooper was really good. I recommend playing that, man, if you can ever get it like emulated or something.
I may get like an emulator and just I want to play through because I want to do just a straight up video on just Ratchet and Clank as a whole at some
Yeah,
point.
I think the game still holds up like really
But I
well.
think I need a lot of refresher for that really
You're
because
probably gonna be a lot more. You're gonna be
that
pretty bad at it at first.
I think I'll be all right. Like
I don't know, dude. Some of the games are actually, quite difficult.
I guess, but like
I remember
I was
playing
fucking stupid as a kid and I still managed to like complete them.
Yeah, but I mean, as a kid, you just had unbelievable amounts of patience for stupid shit, like even for
True.
really bad content. So I don't know. I remember playing Jack again. I got like the remaster on PS3, and dude, the game is actually quite difficult. Like I was struggling to get through some of these levels. I felt like
Yeah.
pretty bad. But maybe I'll try it up again because I did like Jack 2 a lot. Jack 1, I know you never played any of them, but Jack 1 was actually pretty different from the rest of the games. Like, it's a common pattern in all these series. But it was more of like a run around collectible type game. There's like lots of different things to collect. So there's like these red orb things that you can collect. And if you collect all of them, you get like access to the secret area. It's kind of like the gold bolts, except there's like way more of them. And they're also in not just hard to get areas, they're also in normal areas. So it's hard to just get everything.
Yeah.
I never played Kingdom of Hearts.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I must. I was googling a few Pokemons. I played it a lot, like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. I wasn't that big a fan of like when they brought out the newest one, but I thought I really liked 1 and 2.
You know, my sister actually played, I think maybe still plays Kingdom of Hearts, but I've never played it. But I know it's a pretty popular series. A lot of people like it. I always thought it was just kind of weird because it's like a bunch of random characters from series that don't match playing. I don't even know what the gameplay is. Is it like an RPG?
Well, Kingdom Hearts, yeah, it's an RPG.
Okay.
It's
Like,
kind of like a very toned down version of Final Fantasy mixed with Disney characters.
well, that's kind of interesting. I don't know what the last two you posted are.
Oh, okay, you never heard of Ukami?
Uh, the player?
Okami? No, no, that's Dukami. Okami.
Dukami. I thought you said Dukami.
No, no, no.
Are
Okami.
you talking about like Wolf, like Okami?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Is there a
So
game?
it, yeah, yeah, it's a really they brought it back out on PS3 with, like upgrades, but it's a beautiful game. I think it's cel shaded,
Ooh.
and it's just you just want to run around as a wolf, but it's really really good. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, maybe you'll have to remind me about that. I'll try it
Yeah,
sometime.
you definitely should. So obviously Katamari, you probably played that.
I have not actually played that.
Have you? You know what it is,
Yeah, I do.
right?
I've seen videos.
Oh, I love that game, man.
Yeah, it always looked really interesting. I probably would have really liked it as a kid, but it looks like simple fun. You just roll around and pile shit up.
Yeah, no, I love games like that. Like, uh,
Dude,
uh,
did you ever play Graffiti Kingdom as a kid?
no,
Do you know what that is?
I, I have no idea what that is.
Oh, dude, Graffiti Kingdom is such an interesting game. I don't think there's like any game like it nowadays. Basically, the whole premise was that you could make your own weapons or stuff, or maybe you could make your own model. Like there was this like model editor inside the game where
Okay.
you could sort of like design your own character and become that. And like if you designed it in the right way, you could like jump higher, you could like have like different attacks. I don't even remember like all the details, but it was really interesting because you could just make these wonky 3D models and you could actually play them inside the game.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's what it was called, Graffiti Kingdom, because you design your own character, and like there's some plot or something where you have to get back the kingdom using these things. But it was such a weird. I'd really like to go back and try playing it. I want to see how it holds
Yeah.
up.
What else? Devil May Cry. Did you ever play that?
Oh, I never played that now.
Yeah, it was good. They had a really good remake. Well, not a remake, but a really good new one quite recently. Well, maybe it was 2016, but that feels recent. That was the last time I really played games. Did you play like Ico or Shadow of the Colossus?
I'm playing Shadow of the Colossus on PS4.
Oh
I
yeah,
bought the whole thing there. It's pretty
yeah,
good, but it's pretty basic. Like I've done like most of the Colossus now, and the pattern is kind of not really changing. I mean, it's
yeah.
interesting. It's
I
like
mean,
a
it's just for the time it was really, really beautiful.
it's like one of those games that like just trying something new,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that.
Well, about God of War. Like I never played it, but
I never played. Isn't that Xbox exclusive, or is it
no, it's
PS3?
PlayStation exclusive.
Oh, okay. I was one of them.
PS2, PS3, and then there was one on PS4 that I played for like a week when I was at someone's house, and that game slaps. Like most using God of War made me almost go buy a PS4 just for that game.
I remember back in the day when people used to argue more about like console wars. One of the things that people would bring up in terms of games is God of War being an exclusive, because it's always like, oh, Halo's only on the Xbox and God of War is only on the PS or
I mean,
PlayStation.
I feel like back then, like until PS4 gen, the exclusives were much better for Xbox. Like
Yeah, now there's like it's very
God of
minor.
War was a bit. You had Gran Turismo as a driving game, which wasn't that good, and Forza's better. Killzone was like the exclusive, another exclusive, and that game kind of sucks. And it's just had like Halo, Forza.
When you say Killzone, all I can think about is the RS player.
Yes, I think that's where the name comes from. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I remember thinking that. I never played Killzone.
I've watched it, never really played it.
All right.
There was one when PS4 came out that like just looked kind of shit, and I think they gave up after that.
Oh, yeah, I remember I played some really fucking weird PS2 games as well, like that. I still remember. There's this one game where you literally play as a fish. Like literally fish. Maybe you know what I'm talking about, right?
Is it the Japanese one?
I think it's produced by Natsume. So yeah, I think it is Japanese publisher, developer, whatever. But you basically play as this fish and you swim around like this river and ocean streams, and like you do these like weird tasks like clear out these rocks so that the current can pass through, and you can jump through different ponds, like that's how you get through different areas. And you have to avoid like fishing lines, I think, because you can get caught. Oh,
Yeah.
it's such a weird game. I don't think I've played too many games where you literally play as a fish, like a normal fish.
You remember PS2 had like its own version of Kinect?
I remember there were a lot of weird PS2 accessories. They were,
It had the iToy or some shit, which had like 4 games.
yeah, I never got that.
I never fucked like with that, but my cousin had it, and it was so clunky. But I honestly feel like it was better than the Kinect that what it did, which is impressive.
I mean, they've been experimenting with that kind of camera thing for a
Uh,
while. Like, do you remember like I don't think we've actually bought it and used it, but there's like the Game Boy camera.
uh,
It's like
I really want one of them because like they actually make really cool photos. I think it'd be cool to take photos with like the Game Boy camera,
yeah,
but I think the film for it is really expensive.
yeah, they had like it was back in the 90s, so they had like completely separate like cartridge ink or whatever. Had this weird setup. Yeah, I think the replacements are kind of expensive, especially now. I don't know if they
Oh
still
yeah,
make
that
them.
well they're definitely not still being made. So
That's like a
uh,
collector's item for sure.
did you ever see? You know how there's the Game Boy that was like the Vision Boy for the original Game Boy before there's Game Boy Color, which was I'm not sure. I think it was meant to make it VR. Like you like stare into this red.
Oh yeah, and it just gave people headaches or something.
Oh yeah, just insane motion sickness and shit.
Dude, people were trying so hard back in the day to make like 3D shit, like actual 3D shit, or not even actual 3D shit, like the red and blue
Yeah.
glasses that people would wear and shit during the
Um,
movies. People were trying to do that but for like video games, and it just never worked out.
you
Even
can
even
see
the
why,
3DS,
but like,
even the 3DS, most people I've heard just play with it off.
oh yeah, it made me feel a bit ill.
It's just like at the end of the day, it's just like a gimmick. Like people don't really want to do that. It's uncomfortable.
You can see why people want to do VR now. Like,
Yeah,
I think you
VR's the
the
next
idea
thing.
was
Yeah.
the idea was good, like with the 3D. It's just the technology was not matching up with the idea.
No, the thing I keep hearing about VR is that it's uncomfortable to play for like longer sessions. Like you don't want to do it more than an hour usually.
I've got fucking nerd neck anyway. I don't think it really matters. I'm gonna be
No, no, I
uncomfortable no
mean,
matter
just
what.
like it just like hurts your eyes and it hurts like your
Oh, really?
like like the fit on the headset. But maybe some of the new ones have fixed that. I don't know.
I would like to try it. I think VR chat with a VR headset would be amazing.
I definitely want to get a VR headset at some point.
I
Yeah.
think Kaza has one,
Yeah, he
and
does.
yeah, I'm very jealous of that. It's just like for me, I cannot justify £300.
Yeah, I can't justify it just to do it right now. Maybe if I'm
But
for a while.
I barely play shit now, and like the percentage that I then play a VR game is just not worth it at all.
Hmm. Yeah, maybe if I can get it one really cheap. But who knows?
Yeah.
Like I think $100 I would be willing to spend on that.
I mean, yeah, fuck yeah, that's like nothing.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I don't think either of us are gonna get. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna get one anytime soon. But PS5, any thoughts?
I am interested in next gen. It's just like for the last 2 years, there's like a chip shortage in it, and you just can't. It's just full of reselling cunts who like you can't get a console.
Well, PS5 was really bad for a couple months after release because of scalpers, online scalpers.
Oh, it's still got the same issue.
I know, but you can actually get one now, I think.
Hmm. I don't know. If I look online now, I doubt I'll be able to find any for like either.
Man, I accidentally ended my winter talk game a little bit early.
Oh no.
It's the worst, bro. But we have more important things to talk about. That's
Yeah.
fine.
I'm not gonna lie, I still think I'm gonna stick to Xbox. I think the PS5 looks better, but like, and will have better games, but I've got so much fucking game straw on my Xbox 360. I mean, on my like Xbox account that it's just like,
That's how they get you, bro. They lock you
yeah, oh
in.
yeah, they get me with that arbitrary number that means nothing, and I am a slut for it, and I keep going.
I remember back in the day, the big thing about the PS3 versus Xbox 360 was you had to pay for the online on Xbox, but PS3 is free.
Dude, but PS3 had no party chat,
Um, yeah, no party voice chat, but I think games
and
individually
that
had that.
that that is no, it sucked. Like COD on PS3 sucked compared to 360 because yeah, party chat was such an important part of playing games because it meant you could speak to people while playing a different game. And I think although it was like £4 or £5 a month, I feel like that was worth it just so you could speak to your friends on voice every day. Like that was a giant
I
social
mean,
aspect for me.
PS4 has that, but obviously PS4 and
But
onwards you
yeah,
have to pay.
that's next gen. Like yeah, and then yeah, PS4 did it and had to pay.
Yeah,
So
honestly, they're really similar now, so
I
it's
think
really about what exclusives you want.
the really good thing that both Xbox and PS like PlayStation do now is the like subscription service where you just pay like £10 a month and you just have access to every game that's on that service.
Yeah, like PlayStation Gold, I think. PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, and Xbox has Game Pass and like that, and I say occasionally they do that for £1 like for a month, and that is so good. Like
And I always
it's,
miss out on this because I have it. I use it because you need it to play online. I play Dark Souls sometimes, but I never cash in on those deals, I guess.
I mean they're there for ages, which is
I
like
know,
really
but
strange.
I've just never, I haven't played my PS4 in a long time.
Yeah, I've cancelled it at the moment because yeah, I just don't play. But it's really good because yeah, as long as you play a game a month, you're saving money by a lot. Like
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, if I played more, I'd definitely use that more.
yeah, maybe it was summer, but probably not.
But I think I might get a PS5 just because uh, Demon Soul Remaster looks cool. I want to try that. And then also Elden Ring. Elden Ring, I think I want to get maybe on release. Either you
Elden
can get it on PS4 and it's cross-platform between PS4 and PS5, but
was
hmm?
was it an RPG?
It's like Dark Souls.
Oh, okay. Is it
It's
made?
yeah, same people. It's just sort of like Dark Souls, but like a new series. You know how they made like Bloodborne and shit.
Oh, I heard really good things about Bloodborne.
Yeah, I have Bloodborne actually,
Really good.
but I'd probably get the DLC because that's the one everyone says is really good. But eventually.
There was that like samurai one recently, wasn't there? Like
Neo, I think.
last year. There was one like last year that was like I saw was like
Yeah, I think it's called Neo or something.
no, it's not.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
What's it called then?
Wait for it.
I'm waiting.
It was called fucking I'm just googling some key terms.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't find it. It was
I
called like it had like some long ass name with like a dash in and stuff, all of that.
all right. Well, I think FromSoft made Neo or
Oh,
something.
it wasn't a From Software game. It was just a Souls like genre.
Oh, well then I don't know. I'm talking about the one that FromSoft actually made that people kind of
Okay.
consider Souls, but I don't really, especially because I don't think it's multiplayer. And it is pretty different from what I've seen, although I've never played it. But
I think I'm thinking of Ghost of Tsushima. I think that was Souls like-ish. Maybe not.
maybe I don't think I know
I
anything
think that
about it.
I think that was the game that everyone was playing. Who knows?
But yeah, anyway, PS5. There's like there would be two games that I would want on there, and obviously, well, not obviously, but one of the cool things that they have on there is that all your PS4 games will just work, and it's sort of like you're just playing them on a PS4 Pro because it obviously has better hardware, and uh, yeah, if you buy a PS4 Pro, I think you get like better frame rate, better graphics, and all the games and stuff. So that's what PS5 will do pretty much. But I mean, it is somewhat worth it if you do play a bunch of PS4 and you want to play some PS5 games, but I think it's still really expensive. I don't think I'd want to buy it. I got my PS4 for like 200 bucks or something.
Yeah, I'd want to like Black Friday or January sale it, but that's not really possible with the current market.
I bought mine on like 2017 summer,
Yeah.
and I
I
bought
got
it
my
because I got like I won some like contest or something,
hmm,
and they gave me like 1,000 bucks of like Amazon like card or something. And I
oh
bought
man,
yeah, and I bought or it was like this gift card service, and one of the things you could get was like Amazon or PlayStation or something. So one of the things I got is like I bought a PS4 off of Amazon with the Amazon card, and I think I bought some games with the
nice.
PlayStation card. Yeah, it was really cool. Especially because like I didn't have that much money back then. It was before I started working. But yeah, it's probably 200, 300 bucks is around the price point. I don't think it's gonna hit 200 for a super long time.
Yeah, for sure.
Nah, 300 is even a stretch. I think it's like 500 still.
I'm just yeah, I got my Xbox not even that long ago, maybe 3, 4 years ago. It was when my PC broke.
I do. I remember I was like in towards the end of 2018, I was fishing on RuneScape,
Yeah,
and I was super burnt. So literally, I would just sit at the PC and AFK fish and play PS4. That I enjoyed that though. It was fun.
yeah,
Uh,
man.
I played a bunch of different games. I played mostly Persona, I think. It was pretty
So I need
good.
to play Persona.
Yeah, Persona is really good, man. Yeah, I think you'd enjoy it.
Did you ever play Killer is Dead?
I don't think I've heard of that one.
It's like it's like a hack and slash like anime style game. I love it, but
I think maybe I've seen that before. I've
uh,
seen the hack and slash ones.
yeah, it's like 2013 game.
Okay.
It's really good. I really like it.
I probably won't be too into the hack and slash genre myself.
Yeah, I think it's a sort of cool art style and stuff.
Yeah. Are there any other games off the top of your head you remember from PS2?
I mean, it was a PS2 game, but I played it later, much later. But San Andreas,
Oh yeah, I never played any of the GTA's
ever?
ever. Yeah.
Uh, they're really good, man.
Dude, I remember back in the day, the big thing was like little kids, they all had the PS2 with the San Andreas or something on it. And I remember I went to this one kid's house and like he had it, and I just remember he was the type of kid that would be like 11 years old, but he would just swear constantly and shit, and he would make
Yeah,
because he just played GTA all the time. I guess that's why
no,
they parents didn't let you play it at that age. But
yeah,
is it
yeah. I
real?
wasn't allowed that shit until like much later,
It's just
maybe like
really cringy results.
yeah.
I guess it's a
I
good thing I didn't
remember,
play it.
I remember on Xbox One, if you were playing GTA, it would tell you what they were doing. And I remember my friend was at the strip club in the morning before school, so he was trying to blatant what he was doing, and it was just like, oh man, come on.
That's hilarious. I didn't know they had that
Porn,
feature.
porn is a thing, not like GTA fucking strip clubs.
Really?
Yeah, so oh well.
Damn, bro, that GTA thing really went hard for PS2.
Well, not the PS2 one, but like GTA 5 one
Oh,
did
GTA
that.
5. Okay.
Oh yeah, GTA 5. This was Xbox One. No, I think San Andreas was the one with the hot coffee mod or whatever, or mini game or whatever.
So in Jack 2, there's actually this big level. There's like a you play most of the game in like the city level thing, and but obviously it's like a futuristic thing. People are riding like hover bikes, hover cars, but it's kind of like GTA in the fact that you can jack people's like hover bikes, hover cars, and if you do that, I think maybe if you do that too much, like the police kind of thing will come after you, and you have to run
Oh yeah.
away or kill them. So I remember at the time I was thinking like, oh yeah, this is probably really similar to GTA. It's like a PG GTA or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, if anyone else has played Jack 2, they probably know what I'm talking about. But I remember doing that, and I was thinking I was just having a lot of fun just jacking people's hover bikes for no reason. I didn't even need it. And I would just go crash it and just escape the cops.
Yeah.
I think that's
I
why
didn't
people enjoyed GTA so much, just doing random
yeah.
shit like that.
I didn't play any of these games, but I know Silent Hill, Resident Evil, like, and Metal Gear Solid were all really good on PS2. I just never had them, especially not Silent Hill. I think that would have traumatized me back then.
Oh, I played Silent Hill 2 recently, but it was
Isn't
on
that the
an
one?
emulator.
Isn't that the one where like Pyramid Head is raping like mannequins or some shit?
Oh yeah, Pyramid Head is from Silent Hill 2.
Pyramid Head is so cool, like design wise, but fuck it, that would have like actually traumatized me when I was younger.
I didn't find
It's
the
just
game that scary to be honest, but maybe it's
yeah, I mean,
because
but you're like 22, like
yeah, I know. I was mainly playing it on stream for a friend who really likes Silent Hill, and they wanted to see me play it live, so that's
yeah,
what I was doing. And I honestly really enjoyed it. I was playing Silent Hill 1 after that one. I should probably get
yeah,
back to it someday because I kind of just left it off in the middle. But I also played Silent Hill 3. That was really good too. And I
yeah,
think all the other Silent Hill games are just not that good. Like especially the newer ones like are just really bad. Like Homecoming I think is terrible. It's just one of those series that sort of fell off the grid because of being swapped out from like a good team to a bad team. Like the original Silent
yeah.
Hill team was like really good. And I remember hearing that originally they weren't even gonna get like budget or anything to make the game. It was like considered, oh, no one would want to play, this kind of horror game, horror survival kind of game. It was just not thought to be viable, but they convinced them and they managed to make it and it turned out to be
Yeah.
a very good hit.
Did you ever find any of them horror games like scary? Like,
I never really played horror games as a kid on the PS2, but I did
oh,
play horror
I
games
just
on
mean in like
PC.
general. Yeah, like PC ones.
So it depends. I played a little bit of Outlast.
Oh, yeah, I played Outlast. That one got to me.
Outlast is kind of, I mean, it has a
I don't
lot of.
like jump scares.
I don't really like
Jump
jump
scares
scares
stress
that
me out.
much, but it wasn't that bad. I just got really annoyed because I got stuck at some area. You have to like it's like earlier in the game. You have to run through some like water, and there's some guy chasing you, and you have to get over some barricade or something. I just
I'm
kept
pretty sure
failing it.
that's really, really
I know,
early.
I know, it's really early in the game, but I just got stuck there.
And
Um,
Outlast I found scary.
Amnesia: The Dark Descent was really spooky for me.
Did you play System Shock?
System Shock, what's that?
PC. It's the P. What? It inspired like a bunch of games. System Shock. Or was it System Shock 2? No,
Interesting. I don't think I've actually heard of it.
you know how to System Shock.
I mean,
I'm
I'm
thinking
not
of
I'm not
System Shock
super
2.
into horror games. It's just I played some.
It's like I think it's from like it's really early on. It's on PC, but like it was just you're trapped on a ship and the ship is going crazy and like trying to kill you and you're just like losing your sanity and stuff. It's really, really good.
Yeah, Amnesia has that sort of sanity meter kind of thing, where if you
Yeah.
if you go in the dark too much, you start to go insane and you start hallucinating monsters, which is honestly really fucking spooky.
Yeah.
Like I didn't make it too far in that game because is really intense playing that for me. Like I like horror games, but they're hard to play for me. Another
I
game that I
find
actually did pretty much finish, I think I almost finished it, was Soma, and I really like that game.
oh yeah.
It's like one of those games that's not about jump scares, it's more about like just creepiness and lore-wise spookiness. It has a lot of like philosophical implications, which I watched a video that explained everything afterwards. But it's one of those interesting games that I recommend people. It's like this underwater, BioShock?
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
Bioshock.
yeah. Think about like BioShock, except it's more of like a horror survival game. You're like wandering around this underwater space, not space, underwater like a research station, and there's like these weird monsters that you have to sneak past and do stuff like that. Like all the mechanics are basically sneaking past monsters and trying to get items and stuff like that. But I remember I made it really far in just one session, and I remember getting up because like I went to go eat dinner or something. I was just like shaking. My heart was like still pounding. I can play them. It's just I get really anxious, I guess, after a
I think
while.
they're much. That's what I like about them is they're much scarier than movies. Just like because you are kind of the main character, it's up to you to not be a fucking idiot
Yeah,
and
dude,
like
I feel that too. Whenever I watch horror movies, I'm not scared at all. Like I've watched a
yeah,
bunch of them, but when I watch or not watch, when I play horror games myself, it's so different.
but yeah, just like one wrong turn and you get jump scared or some shit, and it's actually stressful.
Yeah, I don't know why, dude. Like when I'm sneaking past like enemies that just are patrolling, that's actually just the spooky shit. Even in non-horror games, like I mentioned before, I couldn't play that Harry Potter game because
Yeah,
like the first
it's
level
scary.
you had to sneak past enemies, and I was always just so afraid of like, oh dude, what if they see me? The world's gonna end or something. Not literally, but it's like holy shit. I didn't want to think about it.
Man,
The weird anxiety there. Silent Hill is really good, although I didn't find it super scary. It's actually funny. I remember like walking around and I'd just be like commentating and playing the game, and then there would be like some jump scare that would be coming out and trying to kill me, and I would just be normally I wouldn't even break my conversation, and my friend would just be laughing at me saying, "Dude, you're missing all the jump scares." And not like I wasn't paying attention, but I just when you're streaming, I think it's just a lot easier, honestly, because you feel like there's someone else there with you. But just playing alone, especially at night on your computer by yourself, that's something else, man. Have you ever
man.
done that?
Wait, done what?
Like playing horror games at night by yourself on the PC or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so different. There's also, it's not strictly horror, but I played the Resident Evil, I think it's the first one remake. They made it on Steam. I think it's called Biohazard. That one also has some jump scares and shit, but it's more of like survival horror. So you have to like use your limited resources to try to solve puzzles and go around the
Oh
mansion
yeah.
and do stuff. It's really good, actually. I should probably play more Resident Evil.
I only Resident Evil 4 and I think 5. Or
There's like some hit
but
and miss in
I
the
know
series,
6
but
was yeah, after like 4 it kind of went like oh like I think 5 was good or maybe it was 6 was good. And then I no, I think 6 was a shit one. I think I don't know if it's actually good the new one or I think there's like some vampire lady that everyone like comes over is like a cult following for the current one, so maybe that's why it's so popular. Or maybe it is actually a good one. Who knows?
I
So
never until I actually played that first one remake. Um, I never really understood what Resident Evil was. I just remember hearing that oh, it's overrated or oh, there's some bad ones or whatever. I just knew that there was a lot of them, and I think there was like a movie adaptation too that was supposed to be okay-ish. I don't know. Is the Resident Evil movie any good?
no, no, no,
It's not. Yeah, probably like most
no.
video game adaptations. Like turning a video game into a movie just generally doesn't really work, does it? I think even the Ratchet and Clank one wasn't that good, right?
Oh no, that was not good.
Dude, do you remember the Mario fucking movie? It's
With
like
the
a
one that's
live
coming out
action
now.
Mario fucking movie.
The old one or the one that's about to come out?
Old one. I don't know the new one.
Oh.
But I just remember seeing like a picture of like some fucking fat Italian guy wearing the Mario costume. It looks like super. It's like some old man. He's not like old man, but he's like 40-year-old man. Looks super weird. Like you look at the Mario on the screen and you're like, okay, this is who we cast, huh? There's also that what was it? The Sonic one. Did you see that? You know the Sonic live act, not live action, the animated
Oh,
one with
I
teeth.
watched that. I watched that for like half an hour as a joke with someone. Like, and about after about half an hour, I was like checking to see how much was left, and there's still about an hour and a bit. And I just couldn't. I couldn't. I thought I was nearly done. Couldn't bring myself to finish it as a joke.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies like that, man. I just
Also, looking at the Resident Evil 8 booby lady, I don't see the fuss.
really,
Yeah, not a big fan.
dude, you just fucking shit on someone's wifey, man. That's not cool. They're gonna
No,
come
no.
for you, man.
Let the Resident Evil 8 fans of the booby lady who also watch True Bloods rambles come for me, man.
It might be a very small overlap there. Thinking about it,
In the Venn diagram, there could be two people or some shit.
dude, two people would be a lot. I think.
I'd be impressed with one, but I don't want to say one. Don't want to single them out.
Yeah, yeah. If you're watching this, just know you're out there. We acknowledge you. Um, yeah, I never played Resident Evil back then. I just played it on Steam, so I don't think that really counts. I'm trying to think if there's
Yeah.
any other one-off PS2 games. I know there was a bunch I played, but since I don't have my PS2 games anymore, I can't really go look to see what I played. I think I played. Have you ever played Rough Trigger or something?
No.
It was like sort of like this Ratchet and Clank wannabe kind of thing, where it's like the mascot, the main character mascot is like some kind of dog. That's why it's called Rough Trigger, because like rough for a dog. And then it's I don't know, you there's some plot and you go around getting weapons and shooting. And I remember I think I just played like 10 minutes of it. I don't really
Yeah.
remember it, but it existed. Maybe there's some fans watching it right now and they're very angry at me, like the Resident Evil 8 people. That one's not even showing up for me. The one link you posted, it's just the link.
What, say if you click it, it doesn't work? It worked for me.
Well, no, I can try clicking it. Oh, it's not an image. It's just a search.
Nah, it's just so you remember the game later.
Okay, yeah, good. Oh,
Uh,
interesting. Yeah, I like these cell shaded.
I really like it. Did you ever play Midnight Club LA?
No, I did not.
That was like the Rockstar racing game with an amazing soundtrack. I love that game.
Oh,
Yeah. Or Bully. Did you play Bully? Like
oh, I
the
didn't, dude. I have it on Steam though. I didn't play much of it though.
I don't like how it's aged. I'm
Yeah,
not very good at
I've heard that too. I've heard people say it hasn't aged well.
yeah. I don't know. I think I'm also pretty shit with like I'm not good at playing most old games unless there's a unique art style. Like there's a lot of Legend of Zelda games where like they've got a cool art style that means it doesn't age that badly, but like when it's like PS2 graphic third person Rockstar game, it looks like dog shit. Like even GTA 4 looks like shit. No.
And not even
So
just
like
graphics. I think a lot of mechanics age really badly.
the voice acting, the mechanics, yeah, it's all a bit rough.
Speaking of voice acting, like I think that have you ever heard of the original Resident Evil game voice acting?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
the fucking worst voice acting I've ever heard in a game.
It's just got a
They're
really
like
quite
in
bad
different.
sound.
You can hear like they're in like different kind of rooms and stuff, and like one guy's like in an echoey room, one guy's not, and one guy's just kind of like shouting, one guy's kind of. It's
You know
like,
when there's the window that smashes?
yeah, yeah. When you're walking through the
That has
hall.
some of the worst sound ever. Like that I see is laughable how bad it is.
Thank God they did the remake,
Um,
and with the new voices. Like, holy shit.
man. Oh man. I wish I mean I don't wish, but I think it'd be funny. You know when it was still them fucking DVR games or whatever, the ones where they were half DVD,
Oh
half game.
yeah, dude, that's a fucking art, like an artifact at that point.
There was a I would love to try one of them. They look so clunky and terrible.
I'm sure they're awful. Oh man. I never played it, but since you said cell shaded for Okami, I think one of the big cell shaded games at the time was What is that? What's it called? It's like a oh man, I forget the title. But basically, you run around on rollerblades, and you have like I think you have like a graffiti spray can.
Jet Set Radio.
Jet Set Radio, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It was super
me
funky or
and
something.
me and Soak were talking about that, like about the art style, like a week or two ago in Dreamcode for like a second. Yeah, it's a great game.
I never played it, but I did see some videos. It looks cool.
There's like that. There's Zelda Wind Waker, which yeah, is my favorite art in a Zelda game.
Hmm.
Borderlands, I think, is technically cel shaded, although it's like comic style, so I don't know if that counts, but who knows?
Oh, dude, actually, you know what? I There's a whole class of video games I forgot to talk about on PS2, the SpongeBob games. So
Well, the Battle for Bikini Bottom.
I obviously played tons of Battle for Bikini Bottom. I actually super loved that game as a kid. I should really get the re. I
Have you
should.
played the remake?
I have not. No, I should.
I need to get it.
It's on PC, right?
I think it's on everything.
Yeah, I should probably get that. 'Cause I remember it looks really good. I remember the staff for it were actually like super understanding with the community. Because I remember
Yeah,
at the
well,
time when it was gonna come out, I was into watching this one SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom speedrunner.
well, Shift or someone
Yeah,
else.
he was the guy who pretty much
Well,
started the scene. So,
he's got the world record for the current new game as well.
dude, he plays it fucking professionally, pretty much.
But
Like he
I think
started it.
I sent you like 'cause he did like a 3-4 part documentary on the the SpongeBob speedrunning community.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's how I found him. And then it turns out he's also the best speedrunner in that game.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, by far. It's pretty
But
cool
no,
because he got other people into playing it, and they do stuff like races and stuff, which is
oh yeah,
interesting.
he definitely like gave it a resurgence.
It's a
But
really good game to speedrun because there's like zero RNG in it, really.
yeah. They've also kept all the old speedrunning glitches in the game.
Yeah, I know. That's like the big thing that I thought was really cool because like they were
Yeah, no,
actually like Shift actually went over there and like they had a meeting with Shift and stuff, and they were like discussing, all right, like how can we keep some stuff in? And I remember somebody like they were working with this guy who was making a game in Unity to like simulate Battle for Bikini Bottom, and how could they recreate like the speed boost mechanic glitch that they use. I forget what it's called. You use some like bubble.
oh, the bubble thing. Yeah,
Yeah, you can go really fast. It's like you're constantly bubble bowling.
yeah.
But I definitely gotta try it, man. It's should be really fun, and maybe I can try some of those tricks that they introduced. But I played that game so much, man. That was so fun. I think the one that I remember being fun, but I guess people look back at it now and it's not that good, is the movie game. I
Uh,
think I just really liked it because I love the SpongeBob movie. I watched that shit so many times.
that is a great movie. I saw that in cinema. That was great.
In part because I didn't have TV service at the time. The only way I could watch stuff was through DVDs, and my parents bought me the SpongeBob movie DVD, and I watched that shit like 20 times. I remember it annoyed my parents like so much because I'd just be constantly watching it, but that's what I did as a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the SpongeBob movie game is honestly not that bad. It's just a little bit repetitive. Like you can tell they copy pasted some levels. It's just lower quality, but you can still get some fun out of it if you're a kid. Let's see. I think I played some other. I think the other SpongeBob games were actually just objectively bad, though. Even as a kid, like, have you ever played Revenge of the Flying Dutchman?
No.
Dude,
I played the movie game and Battle for Bikini Bottom, and that is it.
I recommend you to look up some videos on YouTube of Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. It looks so wonky. Like, it looks like someone's tried to make the game for the first time or whatever, and they just bought a SpongeBob license and they just started throwing assets together and like, all right, let's make some random levels. I remember one thing is about the Flying Dutchman that had that Bikini Battle for Bikini Bottom didn't have was the actual Mr. Krabs voice actor. Do you know about that? Like in Battle for Bikini Bottom, they couldn't for some reason use the actual Mr. Krabs voice actor. I don't remember why, but in Flying Dutchman, apparently they had the actual voice actor. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game, but it was like definitely in one game they had him, in Battle for Bikini Bottom they didn't. I think that was one of the things they were talking about in the remake. Like, should we redub the voices or something? And I think the overwhelming answer was no. But people were saying that it is kind of unfortunate that they couldn't get the original Mr. Krabs voice. There's also this one other game that was kind of weird, but it was pretty bad. SpongeBob one. It was like this. The concept was that you basically enter different SpongeBob characters' dreams. Like you know that one episode where it shows like all their dreams and stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's sort of like that. Like I think one level it shows Patrick is like a comic book superhero, and like so when you enter his dream, like all the graphics look like shell shaded comic book graphics. So that's what I was thinking about. So it made me think about this game. Um, and you go around and punch things and you do stuff. And one of the other games was like SpongeBob was dreaming of him driving like a super monster racing truck or whatever in a race. So it was like a racing level. But yeah, I just remember that it was just really low quality game and very repetitive, kind of like the movie game, but probably even worse to be honest. I don't remember what it was called though. There was also one other game that I remember I always saw. You know how on PS2 games there would be like an extra section on the title screen, and they would show trailers for other games by the same publisher?
Uh, I mean, I'm sure it is a thing, yeah, but I never really checked that shit out.
Oh yeah, well basically there was stuff like that, and one of the things I remember seeing was there's like a lights, camera, pants or something game for SpongeBob. And
Uh,
then there was also like a Fairy Odd Parents game, which I'm kind of sad that I
uh,
never played, but it's probably not that good. I remember I really wanted to play it at the time.
I feel like at the time it's quite hard to figure out what is a bad game though. Like the fact that I played Crazy Frog Racer and loved it. When when you're early into that shit, like it's
That's why
much
I said
harder
if
to tell.
I probably would have enjoyed it at the time, but
Yeah.
now it's just, you know.
Oh yeah, it's too late for that.
Hmm. But it looked pretty interesting, the Fairly Odd Parents one. What else?
I had one like Lord of the Rings game on PS2, and even back then I could tell it sucked.
Oh yeah, there's some games that are so bad even a little kid can tell. I mean, there was a lot of back then in the PS2 era. There was a lot of games which were just cheap cash grabs. They buy a movie license title for some movie that's kind of
Oh
popular,
yeah,
and they just make some game.
I miss that.
Yeah, that doesn't really happen too much now, does it? I can't really
I
think of
mean,
any.
it's just it's trying to go up to the point now. I mean, I think they still almost every like kids film that will come out will have a game, but they're that's not marketed really.
Yeah, I just remember like every single like TV show series or whatever had like a video
Av
game.
Avatar 2010 or whatever, they had that on Wii. That actually slapped. You could use like a bow and arrow with like the Wii remote. That was fun.
Yeah, everyone always had high expectations because they love the show or whatever, but then they play it and it's like garbage.
But obviously, it's like just rushed out in it.
Yeah, because they got to get it out in time for. They only have like a year
Yeah,
to make it, you know. Because if they release it too late, the interest will fade. That's why I guess Battle for Bikini Bottom was so good because it was just one of those rare examples where they actually took the game seriously or making it seriously.
yeah.
Yeah, and it was also like came out during like the peak of SpongeBob, like the first couple of seasons and stuff. So it had like all the best like references and shit. The other ones that came out later were sort of when the series was starting to sort of drop off, you know, like after the movie came out.
Oh yeah,
Like I think the movie was really good, but after that, you know, they got like a bunch of new writers and stuff, and they started to change the way
yeah.
the show was going. I think
Didn't
it's
SpongeBob die? Like the actor.
yeah, Tom Kenny died.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
We
I,
should definitely do it. Oh
did,
man,
did,
that's
did
a
the series end then? I remember it was
no.
going on until recently. I don't know if it's
I
still
think
going.
I thought they just went on with a different guy.
Really? They don't want to let that shit die, dude. They're probably still making money off it, I guess.
Yeah, it's still airing.
Jesus. What season is on?
Oh man, I'll check now. Yeah, we should definitely do a ramble on SpongeBob. Like we've both seen, well, and The Simpsons. I think that'd be a good one.
Yeah, Simpsons and SpongeBob, I've seen like all the episodes, really. All the
Yeah,
ones
I've
worth
seen like
watching.
up till like 5 years ago. Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, and other recent shit's not worth watching.
Maybe not 5 years actually. Maybe more than 5 years.
Okay,
There's
that'll be a good ramble then.
season 13, I think, just aired. I think.
Okay, so we covered SpongeBob, Jack, Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, bunch of odd little
We
games.
did Battlefront.
Battlefront as well.
I feel like I thought there was more PS2 games, but I didn't really own that many
No,
back then.
there are, and there's some that I own that I'm just forgetting about because they're like one-off games I didn't play too much.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think the rest would be like licensed. I remember I had one of the worst licensed Star Wars games I played. It was uh what like not plane obviously, but like flight SpongeBob like not SpongeBob Star Wars flight simulator kind of thing. It sucked so fucking much.
Really?
That's something I had. There was like a flight simulator, like a fighter pilot game. Oh, so I think it was like Ace Combat or some shit.
Ace
That sucked.
Combat.
I was never into that kind of.
Let's see. I'm trying to think what else was there that I played. I wish I still had like my original shelf because like I had this shelf with just full PS2 games, all the ones
I
I
wish I
owned.
still had my PS2.
Yeah, me too, man. I wish I didn't toss it out. That's like
Literally I binned my PS2 and PS3 and like
I got gaslit into throwing out my PS2, man.
you're gaslit into
Yeah,
it.
they were like, I don't know. It was like a long time
You're
ago.
being unreasonable for and crazy. Throw away your PS2.
No, no, I wasn't even playing it. It was like, that was one of the reasons. Is like, oh, you haven't played this thing in forever. We're doing cleaning. You're never gonna use it. Don't you think you're just gonna throw it out? I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah, I
But
feel like I never like parents at that time never thought about the fact that like those things will be worth a lot and also nostalgia. Like there's such a demand for like I'm not sure if it counts as a retro console yet. Like I feel like retro is more like SNES, N64 kind of shit, but maybe I guess you could call PS2 retro now.
I
But
remember for a long time, my PS2 wasn't really working anymore. Like when I put the disc in and close it, it would think there's no disc, or it would think the disc tray is open. I remember I was like so sad because like, oh, my PS2 doesn't work anymore. But then I watched this video where apparently this guy had the same problem, and the fix is super easy. All you do is, so the problem is it thinks the disk tray is open because the little sensor there is I guess worn down or broken, so it thinks it's always up. So if you just put something heavy on it, like a paperweight on there, after you put the disk in, it'll register and it'll work just as
okay.
fine.
Huh.
Yeah, so I got like new life out of that. I was really
Yeah.
happy.
I remember my Slim broke, so I had to eBay a like an original PS2 because it was much cheaper. And that lasted for the rest of it. Like I think there are a lot because I think Slim's had a few more issues.
Yeah, Slims were using
There's
that laser disc thing kind of thing, which was
yeah, I
you.
think you could play DVDs on it or some shit.
Yeah, yeah, that was the big thing. I actually think I used it for watching DVDs as well for quite a
Yeah,
bit.
I did.
It was a useful thing, man.
Yeah, man, DVDs.
Yeah, that's another piece of old technology.
Man, like you remember like menus it had like extra features and it'd be like the shittiest game or like a little music video or any. I don't know. It was just
Yeah,
like
there are these games that you're supposed to play with your remote, using like
oh yeah,
it's
but
just so
like
bad.
rarely did I ever have a DVD remote. Like I always lost the batteries or lost the remote.
Oh yeah.
Or bro, we used to have to watch adverts on a DVD we had just bought. Like we used to have to watch adverts for more films after buying a DVD. Where's the logic?
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Man,
We got scammed.
it is so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Good old days.
The good old days of DVDs and fucking broken PS2s.
Yeah.
That is
Remember when
that is another
Blu-rays came
problem
out?
though. Like eventually, like your games will scratch. I had a couple of
Yeah.
games that I just couldn't play anymore because of that. So I mean, it's really good. Like one of the reasons that I tossed it out at the time was like I agreed to is because like, yeah, I can literally just emulate every single game that I had on PC. So that's kind of was the final straw. And it is true, but it would be nice to just actually physically have it too. I don't know. Also back then, like I didn't have a powerful enough PC, so I actually couldn't emulate everything. Like Ratchet and Clank games, they're notoriously hard to emulate.
Really?
Yeah, because of I guess the way they do the graphics. You need you can't use the your GPU for it or something. Like hardware rendering doesn't really work as well. There's like a bunch of graphical glitches, so you need to do software, and that takes a lot more CPU power. So if you don't have a really good CPU, it's pretty slow and not really
Huh.
playable. But I tried it, a couple of years ago on my PC, and it works fine. So it's probably not
Yeah.
an issue now. They've always been improving that too. Like the emulator's gotten a lot better. That's a really cool thing that we have though. PS2 emulator or just emulators in general.
Emulators are great. Like it's so good for playing a lot of Nintendo games. Like I play with Pokemon on emulator a lot.
Yeah, it's great how all those people work on it for basically nothing. It's just like a passion
Passion
project.
project.
Yeah. I'll probably get more into emulation at some point. It's just right now, I haven't been playing too many other games besides RS.
Yeah.
But I will try to check out that Okami game. That looks
You
cool.
really should.
And you should check out some Sly Cooper, man. I don't know if you
I
can get it.
literally like I'll set up an emulator at some point and then just figure out a controller.
Yeah, I use my
Because
PS4 controller.
I've only got an Xbox One and I don't have any wires.
Huh.
So like
Well, Xbox definitely works though. It works with the emulator for sure.
I'll probably just buy a shitty like PlayStation wired one. Just
You know what you can buy is you can buy those third-party off-brand controllers
yeah, yeah,
with just they're just standard USB controllers. I used one for a long time because you could actually use it for the PS2 as well. So I
yeah,
remember like I had a couple controllers, but when I was doing like four players local shit, uh, one of us would have to use the shitty USB controller, like the off-brand one. But I mean,
yeah.
it works, so hard to complain. And yeah, but PS4 and stuff, they're pretty expensive. Their controllers, there's always like $60 and over.
Yeah, the controllers are expensive as fuck now.
Yeah, I had a bunch of PS2 controllers. I had like five PS2 controllers because you could actually plug in like a multi-tap. That was like one of those accessories. It's like a big box that you plug into the controller port, and it's it's like a USB hub. It's basically that, but for controllers, for PS2 controllers.
Yeah,
And I did that because there's a couple of games on PS2 where you can play with like 8 people, so you need that because there's only two slots on the actual console itself. Um, I think we're about wrapping it up. So I think we've gone through all the games.
yeah. Now I think I'm out of things to say.
Yeah. All right, that's cool though. We talked for a really long time, man.
How long is this one?
1 hour and 52 minutes.
Holy shit!
Yeah, nearly 2 hours.
If you made it the whole way, thank you.
Yeah, if you listened to all this and you liked it, stay tuned because there's gonna be more rambles like this coming up.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank
Right.
you for listening.
Goodbye, goodbye.
Goodbye, goodbye.